Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. For our Dharma lesson, we've been reading Abundant, Exalted, Immeasurable by Ajahn Pasanno. We're continuing in Chapter 5, Questions and Answers. Question: could you please explain the death process? What happens to us as we die, or as the body dies? How quickly does rebirth occur? Is there anything in those last moments of that life that affects how we are reborn? Our thoughts, our environment, how we're being cared for, our mature or not so mature emotions, and so forth. Answer: one of the things that is good to take into account is that when we think about the death process, we often think, there I am in my bed at home, surrounded by my family and loved ones, and then I mindfully pay attention to the death process. In reality, more often what happens is unpredictable, such as driving down the road at night. All of a sudden, there are headlights coming straight at you, and it's, oh shit, that's the death process. Or it's completely out of your control. You're carted off to the hospital for some reason or other. They fill you full of tubes. And then you are wondering, well, this isn't how I wanted it. We idealize how we think we're going to die. Death can come quickly, come slowly. It can come on our terms. It can come not on our terms at all. More often than not, that is what happens. So the preparation for death is reflection and investigation on a day-to-day basis. One of the chants in the chanting book is called Abhinha Pachave Kana, things that are to be reflected upon again and again. The Buddha said we should be reflecting on these on a daily basis. I am of the nature to age. I have not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to sicken. I have not gone beyond sickness. I am of the nature to die. I have not gone beyond dying. All that is mine, beloved and pleasing, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, born of my karma, related to my karma, abide supported by my karma. Whatever karma I shall do, for good or for ill, of that I will be the heir. The reflections on aging, sickness, death, impermanence, separation, and being the owner of our karma are preparation for the death process. It is exceedingly important to challenge our perceptions, illusions of control, and the assumptions about how long we are going to live. If we've been practicing for a bit, we usually get it that we have to die at some point in time. But it's usually off in the future. There are so many different ways of dying. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adida Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.